Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm all right, man.
Good, good. Call out for the record how old you are today.
26,
In your 26 years of living, how long would you say you spent in jail?
a good, probably 14 years.
A good 14 years of your 26 years. Now, how long you been in jail this time on
Since,
this charge?
since January 4th, 2019.
Okay, that's what our records show. And you were on supervision when you committed these robberies, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, when you said the 14 years, you count your juvenile time too, or just your adult time?
Juvenile.
Okay. Tell me what makes you tick? Why all this? You did a carjacking with a gun when you were juvenile. You got a prior simple robbery, and then you have 7 counts of robbery. Explain these to me. Help me understand who you are.
Running around trying to fit in
Fit in with who?
the wrong crowd. I knew I was wrong.
You know that robbing people is wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
Just one thinking with no clear head. One thinking the right way when I knew I shouldn't have been doing it, but I still was doing it trying to fit in.
When you said clear head, what do you mean by that?
Like I was raised, it wasn't the way I was raised. But hanging with the guys in the hood, in the streets, I'm moving like them, trying to fit in, think like them instead of thinking with the head that my grandma taught me how to think.
Okay. Was drugs or alcohol involved? You using drugs or alcohol, was that involved?
I use drugs and alcohol, but it's not the reason for me doing what I do. So I can't blame the drugs. It was me.
Okay, so so what was the point of robbing people? What was the money for, to be used for?
To get things that other kids got and other people have, so I can say I got it.
Okay, okay. When you said drugs or alcohol, what was your drug of choice?
Marijuana,
What about alcohol?
brown liquor, Jack Daniel.
Okay, and what age did you start smoking marijuana?
Probably age 13.
What about the alcohol?
Probably around the same time, 13.
Do you remember who influenced you to start smoking marijuana?
Watching my older brother.
Okay. All right. So it's right there in your house, huh? Tell me about your education. How much do you have?
I stopped at the 10th grade.
You got anything else since?
No, ma'am.
What about a trade? Have you learned a trade?
I haven't been put in no facility to I can take up trade, but no, ma'am, I haven't earned one.
Okay. Have you thought about any kind of trade that you would want to do?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
What is it?
I was thinking about, I love to do the welding.
Okay. You know, they have them at vocational schools when you get out. They do have it at vocational schools. You can enroll.
I've been
Okay.
at Votech.
Say what now?
I've been looking into it at Votech. My girlfriend been looking into it for me.
Good. Those jobs pay real well, with good benefits. I encourage you to really follow that. Make whatever sacrifice you need to make to finish school, and it's going to be a sacrifice.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a lot of write-ups, man. Defiance, fighting. I mean, you even followed a guy with the same first name as yours, did you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. At the beginning of my time.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. When was your last write-up?
I can't recall, but it should have been. I just got a write-up probably a few weeks ago.
What was that about?
Being on the wrong rack out my rack.
Okay, what they call that one?
Unauthorized area.
Oh, okay. Have you been to court on that one yet?
Yes, ma'am.
What they get, what you get?
Probation, but if I get any more write-ups, I'll do 6 days in a block.
Okay, okay. I'm sure the staff gonna give us the exact date of that write-up. Did you complete the Steve Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
Was this your second time going through Steve Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty, so somebody really care about you and trying to get you clean and sober.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you learn?
Well, going through it this time, and like the last time, I paid attention this time. Last time I just did it because I wanted to go home early. I was just in it because I knew it knocked time off my sentence. But I seen this something I needed now. So I just took it, paid attention to what Ms. Lambshaw and Mr. Johnson was telling me, taking heed and trying to take some of the stuff they telling me that I can use to my everyday life living out there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope you do that. You got 375 days of program, so you've been doing a lot this time. You really have. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure your family's going to appreciate that as well. Officer, Mr. Coleman, what can you tell us about Mr. Coleman?
He's like he said, he graduated the shipshape program March of last year. You know, the only issues we had was like the unauthorized bed area, but that was back in November of last year. But you know, as a low court write-up, so we really had no issues with him.
Oh, good. Okay. Do you see him as a candidate for the transitional work program? What would you say?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Coleman, is there anything you'd like to say to the board before we vote?
Just thank y'all for taking the time of putting me for the board.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I do want to put on the record that you do have law enforcement opposition, but because you're so young, I'm concerned about you not coming back. I don't want you to be able to say that DOC didn't do nothing for me, because we did. You got 375 days of program, you had Steve Hall twice. And my vote today is to grant your parole after you complete 9 months of TWP as transitional work program. Give you an opportunity to put some change in your pocket and really get a work personality and not a hustling personality. And I hope to take advantage of that. And once you're out, because of your poor supervision history, I want you to report weekly to PNP for the first 4 weeks, and random drug screens over your entire period of supervision. Best wishes to you. I'm just one vote, but that's my vote. I'm taking a chance on you now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Mr. Freeman?
I concur with the same conditions.
Mr. Coleman, you have 2 votes to grant your parole. Very honest today, I think. I agree with Ms. Wise. You're a young man. You were very honest today, talking about Steve Hall going the first time and just trying to get some time cut off your sentence and not paying much attention. But the second time it got your attention and you think you really need some help. And I think that's great. I think this work release program is really going to help you. I think it's going to give, as Ms. Wise has pointed out, it's going to give you a better understanding of working and put some money in your pocket. And hopefully it'll help you when you get out. So my vote would be likewise the same, to grant your parole conditions on your completing 9 months in the work release program. And then once you're released, report to your parole officer weekly for the first 4 weeks, and then random drug screening for the rest of your supervision.
And then follow the release of Steve Hall. Steve Hall is going to give you what you're supposed to do, how many AA meetings, follow that. That's a condition of your parole. Your release plan, Steve Hall.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.